Good morning to all of you. I I am very happy to announce that today is the last lecture of unit number 4, a relational database design of database management system subject. And I hope you are going through all the previous video which we are discussing so many things about a unit number 4. And today we will discuss a last 2 points or last remaining point of unit number 4 known as a dependency preservations and a lossless decomposition. Guys, I wish you are going through all my previous videos lecture series which we are part of a DBMS, and you learn so many things about all the things which we are discussed in our all the videos. And today we will discuss a dependency preservation and lossless decomposition. Start with the dependency preservation. It is little bit confusion, but we have solved this confusion with help of example. So please focus on this video as well as all the video which we are uploaded on my YouTube channel. So we'll start with the dependency preservations. First we discuss what is a dependency preservation or preserving. The dependency preservations decomposition is another property of decomposed relations database schema D. And what is a decomposition? I think you are clear about word decomposed, because on a last 3 lecture we just focus on decomposed word, because in a normalization the basic thing we just convert our relation into the another different form of normalization. It's nothing but a process of decomposition of original relation with a different criteria. So the decomposition is nothing but to divide our table in a different conditions base. Now in this dependency preserving, in which each function's dependency x determinant y. Now I think you are clear about what is a dependency, how we notate in this particular notations, and what are the concept, which one is the parent one and which one is the child one, means who is the dependent and who can depending. Specific in F, either the appear directly in one of the relation schema Ri in the decomposed D, or could be inferred from the dependency that is appear in some Ri. Means if we divide our relation into the database schema D, in which there are the x determinant y, specific the f is nothing but the closure sets, means the combinations of dependency is must be combined within f. So it should be a directly or indirectly depends on all the dependencies. Let's see one example. Decompositions D is a database. There are the lots of schema available, is we can say there are lots of table available like R1, R2, R3 and up to Rm. For the R is said to be a dependency preservation with respect to F if the union of the projections of F on each Ri, because if we found a Ri, there are the lots of dependency available for the Ri, or we can say R1, it must be depend on all the F, because the F is nothing but the combinations of dependency which should be mentioned in D. So that's why we just says that F is union of the projections of F on each of Ri. In a D, it is an actual database through which we can decompose all the relations, is equivalent to F, because F is the combinations of all the dependency which should be part of R1 to Rm. In another word says R is joined to R1 and R1 over the X. I will just give you the example. Like કોઈ કોલેજનો ડેટાબેઝ આપણે બનાવીએ છીએ, તો કોલેજનું નામ છે એ ડેટાબેઝનું નામ આપે, એમાં ઘણા બધા રિલેશન્સ ટેબલ બનાવીએ છીએ. દરેક ટેબલની અંદર કોઈ અલગ અલગ ડિપેન્ડન્સી અવેલેબલ છે. તો આપણે ફ્રોમ ધ સ્ક્રેચ ચાલુ કરીએ કે કોઈ એક કોલેજનો ડેટાબેઝ બનાવીએ. એમાં એક્ઝામ્પલ તરીકે આપણે 5 ટેબલ બનાવીએ છીએ, ટેબલ 1, ટેબલ 2, ટેબલ 3, ટેબલ 4 અને ટેબલ 5. હવે દરેક ટેબલમાં અલગ અલગ ડિપેન્ડન્સી અવેલેબલ છે. તો આપણે એઝ એક્ઝામ્પલ લઈએ કે દરેક ટેબલમાં 2 ડિપેન્ડન્સી અવેલેબલ છે. લાઈક ટેબલ 1 માં 2 ડિપેન્ડન્સી, 2 માં 2, 3 માં 2, 4 માં 2 અને 5 માં 2. હવે કમ્બાઇન્ડ 10 ડિપેન્ડન્સી પરફોર્મ કરીએ છીએ, એને આપણે શું કહીએ છીએ? F. અને દરેક 5 ટેબલને T1 T2 T3 T4 અને T5 ને કમ્બાઈન કરીએ છીએ એટલે આપણને શું મળે છે? D. તો આપણે એવું કહી શકીએ કે Fમાં જે કાંઈ પણ વસ્તુ મળે છે એ ઓલવેઝ અવેલેબલ હશે D, બીકોઝ D માંથી જ આપણે રિલેશન્સ બનાવીએ છીએ લાઈક T1 ટુ TF5, અને એ જ દરેક રિલેશન્સમાં અલગ અલગ ડિપેન્ડન્સી અવેલેબલ છે લાઈક D1 D2 અપ ટુ D10, અને એ દરેક ડિપેન્ડન્સીને કમ્બાઈન કરીને ક્લોઝર સેટ જનરેટ કરીએ છીએ અને આપણે કહીએ છીએ F. તો ફાઇનલી જે આપણને F મળે છે એ ઓલવેઝ D હશે, બીકોઝ બધી જ વસ્તુ આપણે શેમાંથી ફાઇન્ડ આઉટ કરીએ છીએ? D એટલે કે કોલેજના મેઇન ટેબલમાંથી. સો ઇઝ નથિંગ બટ અ ડિપેન્ડન્સી preserving. The dependencies are preserved because each dependency in F represent a constraint on the database. Because if we mention the constraint, then and then dependency should be generated. If we are never mention any kind of constraint, then all the attributes work as a independently. If the decomposition is not dependency preserving, some dependency is lost in a decomposition. So we can say that the dependency are preserved because each dependency is F is constraint on the database. If decomposition is not dependence, જો કોઈ ડિપેન્ડન્સી ક્રિએટ જ નહીં થાય, then a dependency preserving are not a valid on a particular D, because જો કોઈ ડેટાબેઝના ટેબલમાં ડિપેન્ડન્સી ક્રિએટ જ નથી થતી તો આપણે F જનરેટ નહીં કરી શકીએ, અને જો F જનરેટ નથી થતા તો આપણે કમ્બાઈન ન કરી શકીએ F અને D વેલિડ છે કે નહીં. So that's why it says that if a decomposition is not a dependency preserving, then some dependency is lost in a decomposition. So if we not regenerate our D from the F, then we perform some of the loss whenever we perform a decomposition or we create a dependency. જો આપણે F ઉપરથી D રિટ્રાઈવ નથી કરી શકતા અથવા તો ડિપેન્ડન્સી ઉપરથી આપણે મેઇન ડેટાબેઝના બધા જ એટ્રીબ્યુટ્સ ડિરાઈવ નથી કરી શકતા તો આપણી કોઈ જગ્યાએ મિસ્ટેક છે, આઈધર ટેબલને ડિકમ્પોઝ કરવામાં, આઈધર દરેક ટેબલમાંથી ડિપેન્ડન્સી ફાઇન્ડ આઉટ કરવામાં. ધેટ્સ વાય ઇટ્સ મેન્શન ધેટ ઇફ there are a not dependency preserving means some dependency is lost in a decomposition. Now we see the example how a dependency preserving is work. Let's say a relation R which have four different attributes known as A, B, C and D, and the sets of FDs F known as A determinant B, A determinant C and CD determinant D are given in a relation R. Now we just decompose into the first table known as R1. There are the three attributes known as A, B, C with the functions dependency of F1 mentions A determinant B and A determinant C. Now we are not using C determinant D. In a relation 2, there are the two attributes mentioned with the C and D. So it mentions example. We are dividing R into the two different relation R1 and R2. In R2 we are getting a two functions dependency A determinant B and A determinant C, because we are combine all the three attributes which is part of R known as A, B, C, but we are not consider D in form of R1. In a second relations we are decomposed from the R and we taking a two attributes C and D. From the C and D we found the functions dependency among F. F2 it's nothing but a C determinant D. Now if we combine F dash known as F1 union F2, then you can see is that A determinant B and A determinant C come from the F1 and C determinant D come from the F2, and the combinations or perform the union and getting the results that you are getting a final F which should be mentioned in the first line. A determinant B, A determinant C and C determinant D. So as per the dependency preservation definitions, we can say that if we divide R into the decomposition table R1, R2 and up to Rm, and based on FD, if we getting the actual FD among the decomposed table, which should be mentioned is this example like f1 and f2. If you want to combine these two fd and getting your original f, then we can easily say that f1 days closures of f1 days is a final sets of fd which should be mentioned in R, and it is the actual definitions of dependency preserving. We never lose any fds, and if we are not losing any fds, then we can getting original R from the decomposed table. So example ઉપરથી આપણે easily સમજી શકીએ છીએ what is dependency preserving. જો આપણે fd ના જે સબસેટ જનરેટ કર્યા છે f1 અને f2 અને એનું કમ્બાઈન કરીને જો આપણે ઓરિજિનલ f જનરેટ કરી શકતા હોય, એનો મિનિંગ એવો છે કે આપણે જે ટેબલના પાર્ટ્સ કર્યા છે ફ્રોમ r1 એન્ડ r2 એ કોઈ રેકોર્ડ પણ લોસ નહીં થાય અને કોઈ એટ્રીબ્યુટ પણ લોસ નહીં થાય. ધેટ્સ થિંગ which we learn in a dependency preserving. Now we learn a last point of unit number 4 known as lossless decomposition. Name itself suggests that if you decompose any of the table or any of the relations, and the end of the results, if you are performing the union of both the decomposed table, then the loss is never performed in those decomposition. Means a decomposition is a lossless if it is feasible to reconstruct a relations R from decomposed table using join. નામ જ સજેસ્ટ એવું કરે છે કે તમે કોઈ એક ટેબલના જેટલા સેક્શન્સ જનરેટ કર્યા છે અથવા તો જેટલા સબસેટ જનરેટ કર્યા છે, એન્ડ ઓફ રિઝલ્ટ તમે એ બધા જ સબસેટને કમ્બાઈન કરશો તો દરેક રેકોર્ડ્સ તમને રિટ્રાઈવ થઈ જશે જે આપણે ઓરિજિનલ ટેબલમાં હશે. મીન્સ ડેટાનો લોસ નહીં થાય. That's why its name itself lossless decomposition. This is the preferred choice. The information will not lose from the relations when it's decomposed, because it is the prior thing, and we need to remember that those things, if we are decomposed a table in any of the another subsets, but end of this join operation which we are decomposed different relation, then we are getting original relations. The join would result in a same original relation. It must be required in a database management system. Let us see one example. We getting a one table known as employee informations. It is a without decomposed table, means it is a single relations. In these relations we found 6 different attributes known as employee ID, employee name, employee age, employee locations, department ID and department name. And there are 3 different tuples available in this employee information relations. Now if we want to decompose this table in 2 different tables known as employee detail is available with the 4 attributes: employee ID, employee name, employee age and employee location, and there are 3 tuples available in this employee detail relation. On a second note, if we decompose on a second relations known as department detail, there are the 3 attributes available known as department ID, employee ID and department name. Now we just prove that both the relation which should be divided from employee information, if we want to perform a joint union operations of employee details and department details, then we are getting the original relations employee informations. And I think you know and you remember how to perform a join and what are the different conditions to perform a join. Now a natural join is applied on the above 2 tables. The result will be actual relations we are getting among the both the tables. So through this example we prove that if we are performing a natural join among the decomposed table, if we are getting original relations at the end of the results, then the relations become a lossless decomposition. And I think it's really easy to understand lossless decomposition through this example. I hope you are enjoy this video lecture series, and I hope you are clear what is a lossless decomposition with this example. I wish you are enjoy my video lecture. Thank you so much.